All right, for the second step of this week's writing portfolio, you're going to have to navigate to the library webpage. And so to do this, I'm going to have you go to Google, type in FECC library. Once the library pops up, you can click on it, and that'll take you to the library webpage. Once you're on the library webpage, if you take a look down here, you can search the library catalog, and then, oh, didn't mean to open that. The EBSCO database suite, Encyclopedia Americana Online, ProQuest Science Journals, SIR Social Issues Database, Newsbank. This has newspapers going back into the 1980s, I believe. Contemporary Literary Criticism Online, My Montana Library, Montana State Digital Publications, and Test Prep and Tutoring set of software on there. Now, you have passwords and usernames for all of these. If you navigate back to week 9, you'll notice library passwords right here is a PDF. When you click on that passwords, it'll open up and you'll have all of the passwords for all of those resources that I just reviewed with you, or at least the ones that need resources. Now, for those of you who spend some time on campus, you won't need any of these passwords because when you are on campus, it'll automatically recognize that you're a student on campus and it'll log you in. However, when you're not on campus, you're off campus at your home, you'll need to be using these passwords. So I'll head over here and I'm going to log us into SIRS, Social Issues Database. So when we get over to SIRS, you're going to have this kind of entry. And so I'm going to enter our password here. And then that's the username. And here's our password. All right, so once we're in here, you'll notice that we have basically a pretty simple search feature. Now, what's useful about these databases needs to be explained a little bit. Databases basically represent a massive amount of information. I'm going to go back to a blackboard here and spend some time writing and drawing to kind of show you the history of these databases and why they're so useful. So when I started in community college, I went to community college in Daytona Beach, Florida in, what year was it, 1999 I was there, in 2000. When I was there, databases hadn't quite hit the scene as widely as they have now. And so there'd be this stack of books. It'd be a long stack of books. And this might be a 2-year period for all the books in the humanities. And these would be big, long bookshelves. Little tiny people. You need ladders to get up to the top shelf. And these would just be stocked full of books. Just book, 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 book. You get the idea. I'm not going to draw them all in, but just stacked full of books. So over here, you'd walk over and you'd pick up this big giant book. And this book right here might look something like this, and it would be A through H. And then you'd have 3 more volumes of this, and you go pick these up. And let's say you were just doing a simple research paper, a real Mickey Mouse research paper on whales. So you'd look up, you'd go to the last one, you'd pull this last book off, you'd open this book up, and it'd be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages long. And you'd flip through all the pages until you finally got to the little entry that said whales. And it wouldn't obviously be this big, it'd be like a dictionary entry. And then it would say A3 179 through 185. And then there would be, maybe 30 or 40 entries on whales. Now, what this represents in this big massive bookshelf represents all of the journals and all of the magazines in the humanities published between, in this case, it probably would have been something like 1998 and 2000. And it would have been everything you could get your hands on. Then right behind this stack, as some of you I'm sure are already discerning, the next stack back, if you were to walk back in the library, would be 1996 through 1997, something along those lines. And so, as you should be able to see, I would have to then go back and get book A3 off the shelf up here, pull it down, open it up to page 179 and 185 to see if the article in that book was the article that I needed. And then I would go through the other 20 or 30 entries that would be under whales, and I'd pull 20 or 30 of these books off to find out which ones might be useful. Then, once I found an article that would be useful, I'd go over to the copy machine and I would start putting in my quarters, and a normal paper would cost me probably about $20 in printing to print the articles I needed. After I got through 98 through 2000, I go to 96 through 97, and this would literally lead to hours in the library in my Writing 101 and my Writing 201 classes that I took when I was a student. So that's how it used to be. Now, databases, all this stuff is obviously archived on the internet, and so we don't need to go through that tedious process anymore. Today, what we can do is something much easier. We navigate to SIRS. Once we get to SIRS, we type in whales, we hit search, and after this pulls up, you can see we have a few hundred search results here on whales. Let them eat whales, how to taste fish and chips is putting endangered. We got all sorts of entries here all about whales. And it'll search every word in every article to come up with information about whales. So this database is extremely powerful. SIRS isn't the only one. You look back through the library, I'm sure if we went to the science database, like ProQuest Science Journals, and we typed in whales, we would receive even more information. Same with Newsbank. We'd find all the newspaper articles about whales. So this right here will save you a lot of time. This is a much more efficient way to conduct your research than, let's say, going to Google and just typing in whales and seeing what you get. For all I know, my 4-year-old son could have been working on publishing a whale website at his preschool. Probably didn't, but you get the idea. Websites can't be trusted. All of the information on here maybe can't be trusted 100%, but it's much more reliable than what you're going to encounter when you're just floating around the internet. So use these databases, learn how to use them. Remember that you need the passwords. Again, these passwords back here, you've got passwords for them. All you got to do is navigate to the library webpage, and then right on the library webpage, you'll be able to find all these databases. All right, now, once you get in here, the next step is you're going to find information. Now, you're going to have to show your instructors that you found this information. So let's click on this article from February 1st, 2014, Let Them Eat Whales. All right, so this article, a few things I want to show you. Once you get into an article, obviously you have the whole article here to read. But then you also have down here something that's pretty useful and pretty helpful. For those of you who've spent time doing MLA or APA, we're going to be using APA basic for the most part in this course. You have the citation information down here. You can just copy and paste this over. This is all the information you need for your works cited page. So this is pretty cool. This is down at the bottom of a lot of these articles. Now the next thing, if you take a look up here at the top, this is your URL. So let's copy, oh, that's not what I wanted. Let's take, and I want to copy this big URL. So URL is the address, the physical web address. So if we go over here and we create a new document, let's pretend that this is our writing portfolio. If I copy and paste this URL in, that doesn't look very nice. But if I said instead, the article, Let Them Eat Whales, I think that was the article title we had. Yeah, Let Them Eat Whales. So we go back over to here. Now, what you can do with these URLs, and this is a little trick that you're all going to need to do, is, so you mentioned that article. Now, instead of, let's say, just after this, blasting in that big long URL again, totally way too much. We don't want to do it that way. What we want to do is we want to insert a hyperlink for these words, the article title. So what we would do is we hit Control K. Control K opens up the ability for us to paste a link. We paste that link into there, Control V. We hit apply, and now that becomes a hyperlink. So I'm going to review that once again. So we take this, I can double click on it and I can hit link, or I can do, as you can see here, we've got the Control K. You can do Control K. Control K also works in most email editors, so it's pretty handy. So we're going to go insert link. Then once this comes up, I can click on there and I can click paste because I already copied that long URL. That long URL identical to this one will go in there and I'll hit apply. So that's how you insert a hyperlink into your text. Now, when you're writing emails, when you're basically navigating the web and communicating digitally with people, it's very polite if you can go through and put URLs in the form of hyperlinks instead of, once again, I'll show you, just dumping in that long URL. Will both of these get you to the place you want to go? Can I go there this way? Yes. Just as I can go there from the long one, but it's much easier and cleaner when you insert a hyperlink into your text. So for this assignment coming up, you're going to need to insert hyperlinks or create hyperlinks for all of your research sources that you come up with.